Alright, so let's start implementing. Alright, again, we'll just start a new chat session. And for this, we'll say slash implement. Fast forwarding video. Before, let's stop this. The one thing I just remembered, I'm not quite sure if it's an issue with VS Code or VS Code agent itself, but when we're using virtual environments here, sometimes the virtual environment isn't activated when needed. So what I found I need to do is actually create the virtual environment to begin with. So let's see. All right. For this, we need to. All right. Doesn't look like. All right. So let's say first we need to create the requirements document. Uh, Create requirements text constitution MD spec MD plan MD. All right, and again, I don't believe this is an issue with spec-kit itself. The issue here is with how VS Code interacts with the agent in running things in the terminal when it's dependent on a virtual environment. So what I found that works well is I just pre-build it and I pre-activate it before the agent does its thing. All right, so let's see here. Fast forwarding video. All right, it looks like it's generated the requirements text field. So we'll let it finish its thing. Fast forwarding video. All right, so let's look at this. All right, this looks reasonable. I think the only change I'll make here is I'll take off the version identifiers. I'll just want to get the latest of whatever that's compatible. Oh, for those of you who use GitHub Copilot, and sometimes with the autocomplete, if it gets kind of annoying, what you can do is you can suspend it with snooze. So autocomplete will go to sleep for about, in this case, for 5 minutes. So we'll just do that. We'll put it to sleep for 5 minutes so it doesn't come back with the annoying autocomplete stuff. All right. All right. So we'll just do that. And then, so with this, we'll also create the virtual environment and pre-install the file. So let's just create the virtual environment. All right, and then we'll just source it. All right, and now with the requirements file created, we'll now just install the dependencies. All right, it looks like everything got installed. All right, so that looks good. Do a pip list. All right, looks like the virtual environment's there. All right, now with that out of the way, now we'll begin actual implementation. So let's see. Implement. Fast forwarding video. Okay, and now comes the first test it's going to run. Okay, it looks like it failed, and that it's now going to make a correction by specifying Python path. Okay, so that's good. All right, it's going to run the test again. All right, all right. Looks like it's having problems with the imports. All right. All right, looks like we've made it a little further. All right, and again, since we're doing test-driven development, the tests are expected to fail early on. So it looks like it ran some tests. There were 3 failures because they were not implemented, so that should be as expected. And now, okay, so we'll keep what we have here. I can implement model services. Well, let's just say we'll update. We'll say update requirements dot text. Let's see. All right, but I guess since it's using what's currently there, I think we should be all right here with the requirement stuff. All right, so we can install dependencies. All right, actually, all right, so let's just say, all right, so let's just do the first one. Let's just do this, just to make sure everything's still kosher. No, we don't want to do that, actually, so we'll just say, okay, I mean, I already have the virtual environment set up, so we'll just skip that. So let's say implement. We'll just continue with the implementation. Fast forwarding video. Okay, so it's now asking to run the test again. Fast forwarding video. All right, so it comes back with the next recommended steps of adding more unit tests, then add the integration tests for the Flask client and end-to-end scenarios. All right, so which one? So we'll just say add unit tests. Fast forwarding video. All right, so let's run the unit test. All right, looks like good. The unit test looks like they're all running 100%. Alright, so we'll do that. Alright, so we're going to add the full integration test. Fast forwarding video. Okay, so it's trying to run the unit integration test, so it's asking for permission. Fast forwarding video. Alright, so we'll keep all the code we have here. Right, seems, even though I specified no CI, it still seems to want to do that. So that might be something I'll have to check later on to see why it's still asking to do a CI workflow when I said it wasn't necessary. Looks like we have 13 issues with formatting of some form or another. So let's do this. We'll do run rough to fix any of the formatting issues. Fast forwarding video. Right. Looks like the static page is still a simple static web page. Fast forwarding video. Alright, looks like it's run the PyTest suite and all have passed. Okay, alright, so but then I'm looking at the index.html and it doesn't look like it met the specification. So let me go back to the spec document. Alright, so let's ask it. Alright, in looking at the index.html, it does not appear to satisfy FR01 through 08. FR001 through FR8. Fast forwarding video. Alright, looks like it said it seemed to recognize it had an issue and it makes those changes. Fast forwarding video. Alright, so let's do the test. Alright, the integration test looks like it's still passed. The rough check seems to have passed, though we looks like we still have some minor styling issues. So let's see Alright, so let's keep all of this. Alright, so this, let's just see. Let's look at this. Yes. Alright, I mean, that looks reasonable. Let's look at the back end part. Alright, so I mean, looks like everything's been built. It's passing the test. I guess the real proof in the pudding will be alright, so let's do the startup. Okay. Alright, so let's bring up a command line. Alright, so let's cd. Alright, so let's let's activate the thing, and then we'll run the back end. Alright, looks like the app is up and running. So let's bring up a browser. HTTP 127. Alright. And we have a web page. Alright, so let's see. Hello world. Looks like it's missing the you entered thing, but alright. Let's see, 5 and 6. Alright, so we'll add, it's 11. Alright, multiply, 30, divide. Alright, that looks, alright, with the one exception of the echo functionality, this seems to be working. So let's terminate this. Alright, let's go back to the specification. Alright, we'll just tell the agent that fr fr-04 does not appear to be implemented. The returned text does not have you entered as at the beginning of the response. Please confirm correct implementation. Fast forwarding video. It looks like I'm just checking the JavaScript. It looks like it is invoking the APIs. Okay, that's good. Fast forwarding video. Alright, it's looking for permission to run the test, spy test again. Alright, all the tests are still passing, so that's encouraging. Alright, so let's do a manual test of this again. So let's do, alright, that should still be there. Alright, so let's bring up the browser. Alright, so let's say Aloha, Virginia. Oh, and now it's properly returning you entered Aloha, Virginia. Alright, let's just make sure the arithmetic stuff still works. So 4 and 5. Alright, so we'll add. That's 9 minus 1. That's 20.8. All right, looks like the app is fully functional. It's doing what it was specified to do. All right, so let's go back to the agent now and see what else we need to do. And update the UI to pre-print. All right. No, I don't want the front end to do that. That should be the back end. In fact, let's probably look at the back end. There we go. All right, so here it returned it. All right, so this is the fix for the last thing that I pointed out was an issue. So let's keep that. All right, so let's do this. Let's add an explicit test. So we'll copy and paste that. Fast forwarding video. All right, so we're just doing this final set of cleanup from the implementation. Fast forwarding video. All right, we'll keep everything. Okay, maybe one last time. Let's try running it one last time, making sure everything still looks good. All right. All right. Three. All right. Looks good. Neat. All right. The app still looks like it's working. All right. All right. So let's start. Finish this off. All right. So we'll. We can. Yeah. Let's just. Yeah. Let's do this. Fast forwarding video. No, okay. I think at this point we've probably everything is working, so we'll just complete the implementation. All right, so let's go look here. These are all the things that's changed. All right, so let's again we'll just vibe code and ask it to commit the last set of changes. Commit the latest changes. Fast forwarding video. All right, maybe one last try here. Let's see if we can get the test fixture in VS Code to run the same unit tests. Okay, the usual issue is I need to specify what the default Python interpreter is. So let's do that. And this is from the virtual environment. And there we go. All right, so let's run the test. And all the tests are successfully run in the test extension for VS Code. So at this point, I think we're done with the implementation, and we can mark this as completed.